All right. Hello and welcome. This is Hawkissimo, and I just posted a video asking questions about what schedule stuff would you guys like to see, but just as importantly, asking questions about what's the best way to integrate my my PS4 and using it to connect to a PC. So that I can do overlays and stuff like that. So if you have questions, thoughts, comments about that process, please, I'm looking for advice there. That said, I'm going to do something that I don't like to do, which is check my notifications. I thought I had my notifications off. I didn't. All right. Let's just jump right in. First game of the day. Happy Thanksgiving to the Americans watching this, and hope everybody else is having a good day as well. So, no specific agenda on who I'm going to play, what I'm going to play. I'm going to queue a lot more than just Arena. I don't know whether I'll separate them out in separate videos as I've been doing, or just keep one longer block. My gut says separate videos. And I will bebop between YouTube and Twitch. I want to start to establish some presence on Twitch. There are some advantages to establishing some presence there. That would have been a disaster. I had it set to game chat, so I had to briefly pop out. Stop that nonsense quick. So what's going on out there in YouTube land? What are you guys up to? Let me know. I expect that today is going to be more sparse in terms of having friends around, since many of them are U.S. Folks chilling with family. I don't live anywhere close to my family, so that won't be an issue for me.
Discardia.
Good old Arena. Ooh, double assassin, double mage. Not so excited by that, but we'll see. We'll see. Kuka slows, my stuns should allow assassins to shine. Like to see a tank come in. Man, I just had a bad sneezing attack. You know, this is not good team building. Now I'm forced to make a decision. Forget it. I'm all about the fill more times than not, but sometimes you just gotta roll up your sleeves and say, the team wanted bad composition. Who might argue? Heck, sometimes if I see people auto-locking real quick, and you end up with that hunter, I say, screw it, let's go 5 hunters. And just so people are clear, I feel like that's safest with hunters and mages for range poke, but I've done it with all 5 classes. More sneezing. All right, so we're gonna have to watch Loki. But they went 4 physical, so they're in just as much pain. It's a bummer. I had somebody watching who decided that they didn't even want to wait till we actually got into the game. Well,
Make your choice. I'm worried. And they don't seem to care.
Let's do this. Let's keep Loki off of us. I know there are people who believe in other options to counter Loki. I'll perpetually try and offer my thoughts on what I see in the gameplay. When I see a Loki, I really like to go Thorns. That really, the truth is, getting purification just to get out of that momentary CC is a lackluster solution. That it's the damage that's coming as a result of that whole time frame, and nothing seems to stop that damage onslaught faster than putting that purple spiky shell around you. Because if they have a clue, they go, ooh gosh, I'm going to be eating a whole bunch of that. So far, so good.
An enemy has been slain.
There we go.
Thanks.
So far, we're doing well. I'm not sure. I'm not going to be muting some folks, but
Ooh, looks
what do I got watching here? You got questions, comments? Who do you want me to play next match? What format? Pretty flexible.
Retreat!
Shut it.
No. I'm not going to cancel it. Your BGS thing.
Please?
Shut it. Let's not call attention.
Good luck.
There is somebody who is really infatuated with their BGS.
That's too bad.
And they have a mouth and they're going to use it.
Was it? They won't even see it coming.
And when they run across that, that's how you mute. No need to suffer. Which is a shame. I wish I could just set an independent BGS limit. That was, 3. See what I mean about Thorns just changing the very motivation to continue with that attack. Didn't even need a healing potion. That's a shame. So the splash damage is gonna get that's done.
An ally has been slain. No. Goes the torment.
Horrible miss. Sucks. At that weird time of day. Hey Sheldon, how are you? Okay, I've only been up a little bit. I posted another video with some questions that maybe you have some thoughts on. The first is around schedule. What would you like to see as a schedule? I've had that. Actually, on my page, I have a section specifically for that. So, I have a section where I talk about each of the new gods and provide some starting advice there. But I also then suggest who I feel are the next good gods to branch out into. And at the time of that video, which I think is now a couple months old, Discordia, who I'm using right now, wasn't out, but I would add Discordia to the list. I've only played her a little bit, but I've been in tons of games where she's been either on my team or on the enemy team, if not both. And it's ridiculous how well she performs in the hands of players who I can tell are not the best, and certainly their builds are questionable at best. And yet she still performs consistently. So once you've at least gotten your arms around one other mage, I think that she then becomes another solid option. What is it? You know, I dove into that outnumbered situation to help you, and he bitches. So the other question that I asked was, do you have any thoughts on the best way to stream using your console, but jacking into a PC so that you have full access to the edit capabilities that those systems would provide for, you know, adding Pandora and overlays and all of that kinds of fancy stuff. Because right now, my videos don't have editing in them. You know, it's... No, Kuka. So, one of the things I'll point out, so what we just saw was an example of Kuka not thinking about the fact that he has an ally around him, and I know he's trying to run from the assassin, right? That makes sense. What I didn't like was that simultaneous to that, he's running away from me, getting further and further away, making it harder for me to provide him with the support that he so desperately wants. In other words, run towards your allies. But yeah, you know, without going over everything that's in those videos, I certainly recommend starting with a mage followed by a hunter, for the simple fact of you end up with range that way, so you avoid some of the positioning problems that new players will have by being able to poke from afar. And then I would go into there we go. I don't think I'll let you chase me down, but thanks. That was a shame. But then I would go warrior, guardian, and assassin last of all. Assassin, because it's melee, is really committing to situations that can get you killed easily. And you'll do better with assassins once you've played the other classes, because you'll understand how they want to move around the board, what their abilities are doing, and that kind of stuff at a much higher level. Yeah. That was another sadness. Have you played MOBAs before?
An enemy has been slain.
Let's mute this person too.
You're a G.
And you know what? This person is feeding and bitching all at once. So, Arena is, whoop. That right there is why I suggest in my videos
An enemy has been slain.
that relic. So you can see right here, Heavenly Wings let me boogie right out of problems.
They won't even
Very
see
important.
it coming.
Paragon? Okay. Fine game. Slower paced when it was first released. I haven't played it or watched anybody play in quite some time, and my understanding is that they changed things around quite a bit. But here, 3 seconds, you know, the idea of I'm coming, I'm on my way. Yeah, well, it's too late now is what the answer is.
An enemy has been
3
slain.
second delay is about as much leeway as most people will have. One of the things I'm doing is watching Loki on my mini-map to my left. But this big guy, if he makes it all the way over to our base,
You're a G.
it's 15 points. Every god kill is 5 points, so stopping that is the equivalent of dealing with 3 deaths. Or 3 kills, either way, if you want to look at it.
Take this jungle buff.
Each death is also a gain or loss of 5.
Take this jungle buff.
So above my green life bar, you see the health potion counting down 58, blah, blah, blah. That's the result of me having the blue buff, which is why I have that blue circle around me. She has the red. Willis just picked up the red buff that I dropped for them. Let's see if I can help out this.
An ally has been slain.
All their right is just
You're a G.
the seasons change.
Knowing to fight in and around your allies' things, you know, if somebody tries to engage me in melee, they're gonna get tied up in the webs and the spiderlings are gonna attack, so.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
There's a lot of people dying all over the board here. By pressing your touchpad at any point, you can see people's builds, class damage, top numbers. But really, this is the primary screen of interest, so that you can understand what people are building. And that's just a function of time. If you're on PS4,
Betray your brother.
I'll just send you an invite and I'll pull you into a one-on-one and show you some things super quick. I can go into much better depth if we can actually talk at the same time. Up to you.
Strategic
Going back
feeding,
because
right?
by the time I'm back,
They won't even see it coming.
10 minutes, 47 kills. No, on the whole game, yeah, crazy. So, arena, I mean, you know, single lane, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide.
Strategic feeding,
Fight for
right?
my amusement.
Down.
Like killing Loki on a blind shot. Fun. People get overly fixated on players, but this format is really about managing your minions. Do a protection check, so Cyrus, that purple piece of armor,
Ooh, that's painful.
not the priority, but probably still worth picking up at this point.
Was it worth it though? Was it?
See them?
Yes, I see you.
I hear the
Wow, they were slow closing. I mean, they're standing right there.
See it coming.
And you can hear the, yeah, no problem. My getting started videos, though, really provide, and they're still valid. The content for them has not changed. Some people will argue a little bit about the Guardian build, and I'm happy to explain why outside of Conquest, I still believe that the build that I provided as the starter support build is better than what the Conquest build is. Conquest has different spooling, meaning how much golden XP over time you're getting. So if you've ever been in a game where somebody's DQ'd, for instance, you know that when they appear, they come back and they still have some level. So as a consequence, the meta there is different. I mean, it just is. The importance of farming as the primary way to get your gold and XP. And, you can see here that, you know, there are people on the team that have died 16 times and people who've died 3 times. And yet, nobody's crazily out of level, you know? And that's because the schooling in this format is, allows a much more forgiving state of affairs than Conquest. Sorry, I had to think, because we are back by 10 and I don't want to die like that. Alright, we're moving in the final build here.
Strategic feeding, right?
You won't even see it coming.
We need that kill. There it is.
Strategic feeding, right?
That's just a situation where I know I want to retreat, but at the same point, if we don't get that kill, game's over anyway. So, being aware. Yes, stop taking the map, we all know.
Conflict.
So tell you what, I'm going to end this video, but then I'm going to live stream a new one. So just stay on the channel and tune in to the next one. And I'm just going to chitter chatter away at you and provide you some direct input. I just want to see the endgame stats, since it's a god that I haven't had the luxury of playing too much with. Oh, we did 5, 3, and 9. That's fine. Fewest deaths. Second highest minion damage by a ways. Not shabby. Yeah, you know, if a Willish pulls back her aggression just a little bit and dies 2 less times, we win. Although one could argue that then she wouldn't have as many kills or assists, but really, you know, that's where the issue is. And I said it at the start. I don't know if you were there at the start, but when we were choosing gods, like, this team comp sucks. I mean, it just flat out sucks. 3 mages, 2 assassins means we're all squishy. But at that point where they've already locked, I come in with a tank, we're still overly squishy. And so, screw it. I fill 85% of my games. Sometimes you just gotta let them learn by going through the pain of getting beat down. Know that in this final summary screen, if you hit the X, you see how my cursor is moving around? So I can look at details like my magic power, 689, compared with 678, 557, or 697. Same thing for your defensive stats and your utility stats, and review people's builds. And so when I was learning, I always paused after every game and looked at everybody's build. The pictures didn't always tell me what was there, but I started looking for the commonalities. What icons were I seeing game after game after game, and start learning those. And what trees or item trees are important to learn. So I think rather than knowing the details of how this penetration item differs from that penetration item is less important than just being able to tell at a glance, are they or are they not adding more penetration to their build? Are they or are they not adding more lifesteal to their build? Do they or do they not have additional physical protection, magical protection, or balance protections? So those three questions are, and crit, attack speed, so those are 5 trees that worry less about the specifics, but being able to identify here's the direction that they've started to go. And then you'll eventually learn those details item by item. So, on my tree in Discordia, I started with a starter item, eventually sold it and got what is now as the first item. But so I went into boots, I went into penetration, I went into magical power, more penetration, lifesteal, cooldown, and that last one was actually Oren gave it to everybody. But here, this person went boots, went attack speed, went lifesteal, went crit, went attack speed with some penetration shred, went cooldown with 10 points of flat pen, cooldown boots, wrong boots, cooldown item, percent of your health pen. By the way, just looking down below, nobody's building a lot of extra health, so complete waste. Big power spike, health spike. Kuka doesn't need that, so bad build. For Nuwa, again, wrong boots, and I talk about that in my mage boots. You want pen boots for almost every mage. So here, let me end this. And I'm just going to start up a new share.